Come on, big fella. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're not getting no popcorn. You want some popcorn? Yeah, you smell it? Okay, back off. Back off. Back off. Peanut, get off my shit. Peanut, move. That's funny. That is so funny. I asked him to come up here. Now he's up here and I'm like, get off me. You want some? Peanut, I swear to God, if you die. Here. Yeah, see that? No, y'all can't. Take it. Fuck, Peanut, you playing with the shit. Come on. Like, nope, nah, you fucked up. That's sup. Zo. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
So we were having our Christmas Eve dinner. Turkey, stuffing, and other dishes that you would expect to get on Thanksgiving night.
Right.
We don't have a big family. It was my grandparents and uncles from my mom's side of the family. At the time, we lived in a duplex with some guy and his girlfriend on the other side. We never really saw them much. Strangely, we had a door that connected our sides, and no, that's not something that most duplexes have. It had a very unique kind of lock, though. It had to be unlocked from both sides to be opened, and it could open in either direction. I only saw it open once before the two moved in, ever since the door had been locked, at least on our side. While we were sitting at the dinner table eating, the doorknob to the door that separates the sides of our duplex twisted and turned before the lock would block it. It was not accidental, as it was going on for at least 10 seconds.
Wow.
My dad got up and walked over to the door, placed one hand on the lock and one hand on the doorknob. "You need something?" There was no answer. He unlocked our side of the door and swung it open. Their side of the duplex was completely pitch black. It seemed as if nobody was home. It was only about 6 o'clock, and we were certain we saw them leaving earlier. Me and my dad went to check out the window, and their car was gone too. Being good neighbors, we assumed the worst, that there may have been an intruder. So me, my dad, and my uncle went to the other side to investigate. We flipped on all the lights and checked every corner and every crevice of the small first floor. Then we heard a thud and a crack from upstairs. It was pressure on the floorboards. I was freaked out, so I stayed behind while my dad and uncle ran upstairs.
Oh yeah?
I felt my heart skip a beat when a huge commotion erupted from upstairs before the scream from my uncle echoed across the duplex, even to the other side, as my whole family got up from the table now. Moments later, my dad came rushing down with my uncle beside him, with his hand covering his lower shoulder or chest area. There was a stab wound. We all hurried back to our side of the apartment and locked the door. We dialed 911 and simultaneously heard rapid stomping coming from the other side, and then heavy banging and ramming into the door to the point where there were small chips and cracks forming.
What the fuck?
We could hear the grunting and screaming of the man as he rammed into the door. My other uncle and my dad each grabbed kitchen knives. I armed myself as well. They told all of us to stand back while they waited by the door. Thankfully, the man on the other side gave up before the door gave in, and we heard him exit out the front door. We watched through the window, and we all saw his face as he ran through the snow and turned to see us through the glass. He took off in his black Honda Civic down the slushy roads. It doesn't end there.
Oh, no?
The following year, the same neighbors still lived there, and they seemed to be having a Christmas get-together with a few people. By chance, I was looking out my bedroom window, being a sketchy snoop, when I recognized one of their guests to be the same man who had allegedly broken into their side of the duplex. When I told my...
Isn't it about time for you to move? Huh? Peanut, what's up? Really? You don't care about them. You don't care about me. You just care about this fucking popcorn, do you? Don't you? Huh? Your nose is running. Come here. Nope. Why's your nose running? But isn't it about time for you to move? Like, for real? Let them take care of it. Let them, come on, let the next family take care of it. Like your next door neighbor. Like, come on, don't do that to yourself, please. Somebody gonna get fucked up. Curiosity. I don't know why you wagging your tail.
My dad, he agreed, and we approached them about it. He denied any knowledge of what we said, and even our neighbors defended him, saying he was from out of state. There was nothing we could do for proof, but we knew one thing. Those neighbors, for whatever reason, set that up.
What the fuck?
We moved out about a month later after our new-grown fear of those neighbors became too much.
Can't trust me. Can't trust your neighbors. Point blank, period. I don't trust
This
any of
happened
my...
when I was only 5 years old. It was Christmas Eve night, meaning I guess it was technically Christmas, and I had awoken at probably 3 a.m. or something. I walked downstairs to the living room out of my little boy curiosity to see if Santa had delivered any presents yet. The tree was full of presents underneath already. I was so happy. Santa had come already. But what was this? There was someone in the kitchen going through the fridge.
His name's Santa Claus.
I remember stepping into the kitchen and seeing a really tall man going through the fridge chugging a milk carton. When he spotted me, he put the carton back in the fridge and shut the door. He then put his fingers on his lips to tell me to be quiet.
Bitch.
Are you Santa? I asked him. Yes, I am.
That
He told me
lying...
quietly.
That lying dick.
He walked past me, patted me on the head, and stepped into the living room next to the tree.
Oh, bruh. Patted you on a... Bruh, if I was in his situation, knowing what I know about Santa Claus, the real truth about Santa Claus, if I was to know what I know now, and I was in his shoes as like the little boy, that stranger tapped me on the head, bitch, get off me. You're not... No, get the fuck off me. Get off me. Don't touch the cookies. Don't put back the milk. Don't touch nothing. Just walk back out. Alright? Peanut, god damn, you going in on that one piece of popcorn. Peanut. Is it good? I really hope you don't die from that shit. Ooh.
I don't know what I was thinking, even at 5 years old, as he wasn't wearing anything even resembling Santa. He looked around at all the gifts. I thanked him for all the presents as he began picking up the bigger boxes.
Stop talking to him.
I remember being confused, and I'm pretty sure I asked him why he was doing what he was doing, but I don't remember exactly what he said. I believe it was along the lines of just replacing the gifts with better ones in my sled.
That's a lie.
I believed whatever he said, though.
Of course you did.
He walks out the back door with 3 boxes, came back momentarily to grab more, then left once again. He came back in and patted me on the back and told me not to tell my parents that I saw him. I smiled and agreed, and he took off with the boxes.
The fuck?
I waited for him to come back with the replacement gifts, but he never did. I eventually went up to tell my parents despite what he said. When my parents realized I wasn't joking, they sat up in shock and fear and ran past me downstairs. When they saw half the presents were gone and the back door was left wide open, my mom screamed like a deranged person. I remember my parents were practically scolding me, demanding for me to describe the person who entered our house. Of course, being 5 years old, the description I gave was anything but useful. All I probably told them was that he was tall. It's been almost 15 years now, though, and at this point for me, being that I was only 5 years old, it's nothing but a story to tell, rather than a bad memory at all.
Peanut, no.
Did you ever used to have a
No.
fear of those guys who would dress up as Santa Claus in the mall or at Christmas parties?
A little bit.
Up until the age of about 8, I certainly did.
Yeah.
I think I was 6 or 7 years old when me and my mom were walking through the mall with all of the Christmas festivities and decorations up. Festive bands playing jingle bells, a giant tree in the center of the mall, and of course a mall Santa sitting in a chair covered by a green blanket. There was a small line of kids and parents waiting to sit on the Santa's lap. Maybe 2 or 3 kids. My mom insisted I sat on his lap. Normally it would be the other way around, the kid begging the parent to sit on the lap, but she knew how shy I was. There wasn't anyone by the mall Santa's side, like one of those people who calls the next child up. It was just him. When I sat on the stranger's lap, he grabbed me by the chest and said softly in my ear, "What do you want for Christmas?"
Oh no.
I think I said a Game Boy Advance. He laughed and assured me I would receive one. Then, for whatever reason, my mom walked up to the Santa and said something quietly to him. He chuckled in response to whatever she said and then said no problem. My mom told me to wait there by the Santa for a few minutes until she came back. At this point, there were no more kids waiting to sit on his lap, so his attention was directed at me. He told me to come over and sit on his lap again. I somehow obeyed, despite my fear of Santa Claus. When I sat on his lap, he pulled me closer to him so that my back was leaning on him.
The fuck?
When I think back on this moment now, it's all the more painful and creepy. He then whispered in my ear that he had a Game Boy Advance outside by his sled, and if I followed him, I would get it right now and wouldn't have to wait until Christmas.
That's that shit, nope.
My fear suddenly turned to excitement as I believed him. We both stepped off the chair, and I followed him down one of the exit hallways.
What the fuck
But halfway through, he stopped and told me we should take a bathroom break first. We stepped into the bathroom, and he quickly locked the door. I turned and looked at him as he looked at me. But before anything else could happen, there was a frantic banging at the door. Somebody on the other side was yelling to open up. The Santa opened the door, and a man pulled him out and shoved him. The man then escorted me back to the center of the mall, asking me where my mom went. I watched as a fake Santa casually walked out the exit door and out of my sight. When my mom came back, the man explained everything. I'm pretty sure he was watching the whole time. So he and my mom asked around to see if the mall hired any mall Santas for the day. They did not. Whoever that was just a pervert dressed as Santa to get kids to sit on his lap and possibly wait for a perfect opportunity to snatch one, just like he almost did me.
What did the mom say to Santa Claus? That's my thing.
This story took place about 5 years ago on Christmas Eve night.
No.
It was around 1 in the morning, and I had just finished placing presents under the tree. I went upstairs to brush up and everything, then came back downstairs to the kitchen to get a glass of water before bed. My son Jake, who was 4 at the time, was standing by the stairs leading to the basement. I asked him what he was doing up so late. He pointed down the stairs and said, "Santa." I picked him up and carried him back to his room. I took a glass of water and went to bed. I woke up around an hour later to my son running down the hall outside my room. I sighed and got out of bed. As I was going down the stairs, I saw Jake by the tree looking at presents. Then he ran past me into the basement stairs again. He pointed down the stairs again. This time I looked down the stairwell, and my heart dropped as I saw a black figure sitting on the bottom step. I almost screamed, but I somehow held it in. I pulled my son quietly away from the basement door and closer to the front door of the house. I moved my hand away from my son's mouth to reach for the lock in the doorknob. I tried to pull the door open as quietly as possible, but it was pointless. The squeaky hinges let out the usual ear-piercing screeches, and I cringed in my mouth and eyes as I did. Suddenly, there were heavy stomps coming from up the basement stairs. I screamed and pushed open the storm door and practically threw Jake outside. I shut both doors behind us and we ran to the neighbor's house. I rang the doorbell as fast as possible, probably 30 times before they answered. After that, we went inside and stayed there and waited for the police. Whoever that person was gone though, as determined after the police conducted a thorough investigation of the house. I ended up lying to Jake, telling him that actually was Santa Claus, but a few years later, he remembered the incident and became a little more wise to what actually happened.
There's always something going down during the holidays. Always something. Peanut, you're not slick. I have popcorn on my floor, and he's eyeballing it. He's like, which one? Which one do I get? Which one? Which one? Which one? No, Peanut, you're not getting nothing, bruh. You're not getting, here, come here. Come here. I like popcorn, but then again I don't, because you get those small little pieces that get stuck in your teeth. I wish I was an Inspector Gadget where I can just get a toothpick out of nowhere and just. But yeah, there's always something going down on Halloween, on any holiday really. But I find Halloween and Christmas should be like those nights to be like the creepiest nights. And Black Friday. Yeah. But the one that really got me was the mall one, where there it goes, I got it now. Where the kid was sitting on Santa Claus' lap, right? And then the mom whispered, so what the fuck did she say to him to get Santa Claus to like good do all that? But truth be told, I never really was a fan of sitting on a grown man's lap as a kid, because that's what it is. You're sitting on a grown man's lap, and whoever is behind that Santa Claus beard and all that, that's free game. Oh shit. I almost dropped all of this. Look at this. This is still a lot, like halfway. But I never really felt comfortable with sitting on a grown man's lap, a stranger lap at that. But when I was a kid, I just had to play along, make it believable. But I was never a fan of sitting on his lap. Never was, never will. And my kids are not going to either. Nope. But yeah, Christmas is right around the corner. I hope everybody is safe out there, spending time with your loved ones. And, you know, just be safe, please, because, you know, that's it. Just be safe. And I don't know if I'm at liberty, or I don't know if I'm the one to tell you all this about Santa Claus, but I'm not going to flat out say what y'all think I'm about to say. But fuck, should I say it? Because I know I have some like little kids watching my videos. And you know, some of them still believe in Santa Claus, and I know some of y'all don't. But I don't know if I've... Fuck it. You gotta... Fuck it. You gotta realize Santa Claus is... Kids, go away right now, please. If you're still here, that's your fault. It's not my fault. Santa Claus isn't real. Okay? For the longest, I thought he was. You know? But I don't know how old I was when I knew Santa Claus wasn't real. But I remember how I realized he was, because I was real young. I was a kid, right? And I remember it very, very vividly. This is what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna try to be as detailed as possible. I don't know how old I was, but when I was younger, my mom told me to go to sleep, right? And you know, for most of the night, I was asleep, but I woke up, I guess, in the middle of the night, and I was like, okay, Santa Claus is not about to eat all of these fucking cookies. He got me fucked up. No, you know, that's a lot of goddamn cookies. I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 of them bitches, right? So I get up, scoot the covers off me, right? And I go to the living room, and the only thing that's being lit is a Christmas tree, right? Everything else, all the other lights are off in the house except the Christmas lights, right? And so I go to the living room, alright? I'm kind of over exaggerating. But when I went to the living room, I saw my mom like wrapping the gifts up and then putting them under the tree. And so as a kid, I was like, my mom saw me and I saw her and I was like, Mommy? I got one question for you. The fuck happened to Santa Claus? What you do to him? Huh? Nah, I'm not going back to my room. What you do to him, huh? What you do to Santa Claus? What you do to him? You're not gonna tell me. You're not gonna tell your own flesh and blood what you did to Santa Claus. What? He isn't really, Peanut. Peanut, little sneaky ass. He got a fucking popcorn. He went straight under my bed. But really, though, you're not gonna tell me what happened to him. What? He not real. I think ever since that night, it kind of ruined it for me. But you gotta like, sooner or later, you're gonna have to realize that he isn't real. How you gonna have some big ass motherfucker come down, right, down your chimney or through some other part of your house and eat up all your fucking cookies and milk, right? You better pray to God he not lactose intolerant, because if he is, he gonna be on the toilet for a good hour or two, right? Depending on how you know how he is on the inside, right? Come in your house uninvited, right, at all hours of the night, right? I would feel some type of way about that. I really would. But I'm thankful that I realized that at a younger age, and not when I was like a teenager in high school or middle school. But I don't know. Part of me wants to believe that Santa Claus is real, but I don't know, man. I would just have to go to the North Pole and see it with my own eyes. But people say it's been scientifically proven that Santa Claus isn't real. Like, it's almost impossible for you to go to every single house and get presents. But if I've ruined anybody, I am so sorry if I ruined anybody's Santa Claus. Like, if I just ruined that for you. But I'd rather you know it now than later. No, here. Want some popcorn? No, it's buttery. No. I'm gonna make this a tradition though. Every time I look at a creepy or I react to a creepy ass video and it's long, like really long, like kind of like this, like I want to say it wasn't that long, but no, I want to eat popcorn. I'm gonna have popcorn. So trust me on this. Popcorn tradition. But hey, as always, keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.